Another year, another iPhone lineup. But this time, Apple is mixing things up. We'll be getting 4 models in September: iPhone 17, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max, and a brand new 17 Air. And honestly, on paper, they all look pretty similar. So what'll actually be new? And should you spend more or maybe skip the upgrade entirely? That's exactly what we'll be breaking down. No fluff, just everything you'll need to know to pick the right model. Let's start with the base iPhone 17. Visually, not much will change. It'll only get slightly larger. It'll use the same squared-off aluminum frame and dual camera setup we've seen for a couple years now. If you squint, you might not even tell it apart from an iPhone 16. The real shakeups will be happening in the 17 Air and the Pro lineup. The 17 Air will be the headline grabber. It'll be all about being thin and light, like crazy thin. Around 5.5 millimeters thin, which will be nearly half the thickness of a 16 Pro. Apple will reportedly be using titanium to pull this off, and it'll downsize the screen to 6.6 inches from a planned 6.9 inches to avoid another bend gate situation. That'll make it thinner than any flagship iPhone we've seen, and it'll position it perfectly between the base 17 and the 17 Pro Max. Design-wise, the Air will be flashy. It'll have a horizontal camera bump instead of the classic corner square, barely any speaker holes, and even a slightly off-center USB-C port. It'll clearly be made to stand out. This will be Apple going for that wow factor again. The Pro models will also be getting design tweaks, mainly with the camera layout. Say goodbye to the square bump and hello to a full-width camera bar. Gives me Google Pixel vibes. You'll still see the 3-lens setup, but now it'll be more spread out. Lenses on one side, flash and LiDAR on the other. The Pro models might also move away from titanium and use a new hybrid aluminum glass frame. Rumor has it Apple will be going for better durability while keeping weight down. Could be a half glass, half metal deal. If it's real, it'll probably look subtle but feel more solid. USB-Cs will stay on all models, but don't expect equal speeds. Just like with the iPhone 16 series, the regular iPhone 17 and Air will likely get slower USB 2.0 speeds, while the Pros will support faster USB 3 for things like ProRes offloading. One more thing to keep in mind: SIM trays. Apple ditched physical SIMs in the US a while ago, and they're expected to expand that globally with iPhone 17, especially on the Air. It'll be so thin, there'll just be no room for a tray. So if you're someone who travels and swaps SIMs often, you might need to embrace eSIM sooner than you thought. Now on the display side, we'll finally hit a big milestone. All iPhone 17 models, yes, even the regular 17 and 17 Air, will be getting 120Hz OLED screens. No more 60Hz nonsense. Everything will feel smoother. Scrolling, swiping, gaming, you name it. It'll be one of those features that used to be Pro exclusive, and now it'll finally go mainstream. The only caveat: the base models might not support full LTPO with 1Hz low power mode. That's what makes the always on possible on the Pros. If true, it'll mean always on might still be a Pro only feature, but honestly, for most people, the upgrade to 120Hz alone will be a big win. As for brightness and toughness, Apple could be using the new screen material on the new iPhones for better scratch drop resistance. Brightness should also get a boost, maybe even higher peak nits than the 16 Pros. Across the board, you'll be able to expect super crisp OLEDs with high contrast, punchy colors, and retina-sharp pixel density. Speaking of boosts, let's take a quick detour, not into chipsets, but into something way more grounded: website hosting. If you've ever run your own site, you know it's a pain. Slow loading times, weird back-end glitches, sketchy support. I'm switching to Kinsta, and it instantly solves all that. Every site I move loads up to 200% faster, and their uptime rock solid. But the real win is their support. No bots, just actual humans who know what they're doing. Even the dashboard makes sense: clean, clear, and beginner-friendly. If you're building anything on WordPress, give Kinsta a shot. Link is in the description. You get a free month on select plans plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right, back to the iPhones. We'll be getting some chip drama this year. Pro and Pro Max are expected to get the new A19 Pro chip, faster GPU, better AI processing, the works. The 17 Air and a regular 17 will likely get the standard A19. Still, even the A19 will be super capable. For social, messaging, even light video editing, you'll be fine. But if you'll be playing graphically intense games or planning to shoot 4K 60 video all the time, the A19 Pro on the higher-end models will give you noticeably more headroom. The Pros will also be rumored to get vapor chamber cooling. Finally! That will mean better sustained performance under load and less thermal throttling. If you remember the iPhone 15 Pro overheating headlines, this will be Apple's answer. Memory-wise, the Pro should jump to 12GB RAM to support more advanced AI and camera features. The base models will stick with 8GB. Again, plenty for now, but it could make a difference 2 or 3 iOS versions down the road. Now let's talk cameras. Easily one of the biggest reasons people will upgrade. The base iPhone 17 is expected to keep the dual camera setup we've seen before, a 48 megapixel main and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It won't be groundbreaking, but it will be solid. Most users will get fantastic shots with this combo, especially in good light. But there will still be no telephoto lens. Apple will save zoom for the Pros. Then there's the iPhone 17 Air, and here's where things will get interesting. It will only be getting one rear camera. Yep, just the 48 megapixel main sensor, no ultra wide. For a phone that's supposed to sit above the base model, that will feel like a weird move. And it will be, but again, this phone will be all about that slim design. Add in more lenses would make the bump huge, and Apple will clearly choose form over function. The single lens will still be very capable. You'll get clean shots and 2x lossless zoom via cropping, just like on the iPhone 16. But for wide group shots or landscapes, you'll be out of luck. Now to the Pros. This is where it'll get stacked. iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are rumored to have triple 48 megapixel cameras, main, ultra wide, and telephoto. That will be a massive upgrade from the 12 megapixel zoom lens we had last year, and it will mean better low light, more detailed zoom, and even higher quality wide-angle photos. There will be a bit of back and forth on whether both Pro models will get the same 5x zoom. Nothing changes here, aside from resolution. The front camera across the entire lineup's also getting an upgrade, jumping from 12 megapixels to 24 megapixels. That will be a big leap for FaceTime, selfies, or shooting TikToks. You'll notice sharper detail and better dynamic range, no matter which model you pick. Some features will still be locked to the Pro models. For example, dual recording video in front and back at the same time is likely coming, but only to the Pros. Same with 8K video, and possibly a variable aperture on the main lens to give you more control over depth of field. If you'll be shooting a lot of content, vlogging, or just wanting the best camera phone money can buy, the 17 Pro or Pro Max will absolutely be worth it. But if you'll be someone who just pulls out your phone for the occasional sunset or brunch pic, the base iPhone 17 with both wide and ultra wide might actually be more versatile than the pricier 17 Air, which will only give you that single lens. Alright, let's move on to battery life. Spoiler, bigger phone equals better battery. The Pro Max will be expected to remain the champ with an approximately 4,800 to 5,000 milliamp hour cell. That will easily get most people through 2 full days of moderate use. The 17 and 17 Pro will sit comfortably in the 3,500 to 3,800 milliamp hour range, basically 1 full day of use with a bit to spare. Then there's the 17 Air, with just 2,800 milliamp hours. For a phone with a 6.6-inch screen, that'll be tight. It will likely be fine for light users, but if you'll be watching videos, gaming, or bouncing between apps all day, expect to top up by late afternoon. That will be the trade-off for that razor-thin design. Apple will reportedly be using new battery chemistry to squeeze in more density, but physics is physics. Less space equals less battery equals shorter life. Now, the good news. All iPhone 17 models will support Qi 2.2 wireless charging. That will mean higher speeds, potentially up to 20 to 30 watts wirelessly, depending on the model and the charger. Even if Apple caps it for safety, it'll still be a huge step up from today's 15-watt MagSafe limit. And now let's talk about money. Here's what US pricing will likely look like. iPhone 17, $799, 17 Air, $899, 17 Pro, $1,000, and a Pro Max, $1,200 to $1,300. So, is it worth paying more? If you want the best screen, best battery, best camera, the Pro Max will be your beast. Expensive, yes, but it will deliver everything. If you love shooting photos and video and want the best bang for your buck feature set, the 17 Pro will hit that sweet spot. If you will be a minimalist who wants style, a light phone, and you don't mind giving up a few features, go for the 17 Air. And if you will just want a fast, modern iPhone that nails the basics, then get the regular 17. You will be getting 120Hz, great performance, and a solid camera for $799. Don't pay for the Pro label just because it's the Pro. Ask yourself, will you actually use those features? The answer is yes, well, go for it. But if you won't be shooting in 8K, pushing chipsets to the limit, or using LiDAR, maybe you will be good with the regular 17. And if you will be tempted by the Air's looks, fair. It will be gorgeous. Just go in knowing what you'll be trading off. One camera and some battery life. Every model in the iPhone 17 lineup will be premium. Just pick the one that will actually fit your lifestyle, not the marketing. Thanks for sticking around. I will catch you in the next video when we'll actually get these phones in hand.